Smart, smart, do. We are the children, the children of God. Come, come, come. We change our world. We have what it takes to do it smart and make it smart. Welcome to our Smart Do.
Hello, Class 6 pupils. Welcome to today's lesson, whereby today we are going to look at circles. What are circles? Circles are round objects. Circles are round objects. Circles are round objects. We have things which are circular in shape. We have things which are circular in shape. For example, here I have a circle with me. I have a circle here. So anything that is round in shape, we say it is a circle. Other things which are circular in shape, we have a plate. What else do you know as a circular shape? We have a basin. What else? We have a wheel or a tire. What else as a circular shape? What else? We have a lid. Lid, for example, the lid of a tin, or some tins. We have some tin which are circular in shape. We have the shoe polish tin, that is, it has a circle shape. So anything that is circular in shape is called a circle. Anything that is round in shape. Now, in circles, we are going to look at the diameter and the radius. Let us first look at diameter and the radius of a circle. When drawing a circle, we have something we call the center of the circle. The center of the circle is marked with the letter O. O is the center of the circle. Any line that is drawn to pass through the circle, the center of the circle, to the other end of the circle, any line that is drawn and passes through the center of the circle to the other side is called a diameter. It's called a diameter. Diameter is a line that is drawn and passes through the center of the circle to the other side. For example, suppose this is now the center of this circle. When we draw a line from this point to pass through the center to the other point, that is what we call a diameter. It's called a diameter. And a diameter will divide a circle into two equal halves. It divides a circle into two equal halves. These halves are called semicircles. So what is a semicircle, class? A semicircle is a half a circle. For example, when you are a half circle. For example, when you are sharing chapati, you cut the chapati into two equal halves, where such that one person gets one half, the other person gets one half. That is what we call a semicircle. Now, I said a semicircle passes through the diameter. A diameter passes through the center of the circle to the other side. Now, the diameter, when we divide the diameter into two, we get something we call the radius. We get something we call the radius. What is a radius? A radius is a half of the diameter. For example, this line, it is drawn from this one side of the circle and it goes up to the center of the circle. That is what we call a radius. That is what we call a radius. So if that is the center of the circle, any line from the center of the circle to the side of the circle, that is called the radius. How do we get radius? I say the radius is a half the diameter, the length of the diameter. So we can say radius, that is a half of the diameter. If radius is a half of the diameter, and you are given the diameter, the radius, we say diameter is 2 times the radius. Diameter is 2 times the radius. So that is now what we call the diameter and the radius. We have something we call the sector of a circle. Sector of a circle, for example, this diameter, when we shade this part, we say we have shaded one sector of the circle. Two radius, a radius from this side and from this side, and we shade this part here. This one is called a minor sector, and the other unshaded part is called the major sector. When we shade this part of the circle here, we have the shaded part is now the minor sector, and the other part is the major sector. Let us look at something we call the circumference. Having now known the diameter, the radius, let us look at the circumference of a circle. Let us look at the circumference. What is circumference? Circumference is the distance round a circle. Circumference is the distance round a circle. It is just the same as what we said in perimeter. Perimeter is distance around a figure. So, in this circle of ours, if you take this circle, the distance around this circle is what we call the circumference. For example, I have this string here. If I tie this string, I hold this string on one side, and then I take it round this circle up to this part. So, this now is the circumference of this circle. How do we get the circumference of the circle? Look at the diameter. This is now the diameter of our circle up to this point here. So, this diameter of ours, once we take it round, from this point, I want us to mark from this point. I'm holding the diameter of the circle. I can mark using this pen the diameter of this circle. I want to introduce to you something we call the pi. So the diameter of this circle is up to this point here. So, once we start from this point, we want to look how many times will this string go around this. So, you can see where the mark is. This is not the mark. So, it will go up to there. That is first part. Then the diameter from there to come again up to this other part here. Those are two. Then from there to go up to this part here. How many times has the diameter, the marking is here, how many times has the diameter gone? 3 times. Then there's this other part remaining here. This is called 1/7 of that diameter. So, we want to look at the ratio of the circumference of the circle over the diameter. Our diameter has gone 3 parts. We began from here. It went 1 up to here. That is 1. From here up to here. That is 2. Then from here up to here, 3. Then there was this other part remaining here, which is 1/7. So the ratio of the circumference to the diameter is 3 and 1/7. It has gone 3 times, then the remainder 1/7 of that part. So this ratio of the circumference to the diameter is what we call pi. It is just written that way, pi. And in symbols, it is written as something like that. So that is what we call pi. Pi is the ratio of the circumference to the diameter. And we say, when calculating the pi, 3 over 1/7, this is a mixed fraction. Into improper fraction, it will be 22/7 because we multiply, then we add. 3 times 7 is 21 plus 1, which is 22/7. So pi is a constant. It does not change. It will always remain 22/7. So when calculating the circumference of a circle, calculating the circumference of the circle, we say circumference of a circle is given by the pi times the diameter. Circumference of a circle is equal to pi times the diameter. Circumference of a circle, because I said the ratio circumference of a diameter will give us pi. So when we want to get the circumference, multiply by d on one side, multiply by diameter, d for diameter. So circumference is given by pi times diameter. Suppose, and we have said the diameter is a half of the, or diameter is twice the radius. Diameter is radius times 2. So if diameter is radius times 2, we can still say that circumference of a circle, which is c, is given by 2 pi r. That is the formula for working out the circumference of a circle. For example, as a bicycle wheel has a diameter, of 14 centimeters. What is its circumference? We say that circumference is equals to pi times diameter. And I say pi is 22/7. That is a constant, it will never change. So the circumference of this circle will be 22/7 times diameter, whereby diameter is 14. Simplify by 2, 1. By 7, 1. By 7, 2. So 2 times 2, which is 44. That is how we work out the circumference of a circle. Just bear in mind that circumference of a circle is given by pi times the diameter, or 2 times pi, which is 22/7, times the radius. Circumference is the distance around a circle. Thank you.